Hello and welcome back to Bump Lab. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please take just a moment and do that right now, especially if you're interested in content concerning motherhood, parenting, and anything to do with womanhood. So karibu to the rest of you who have subscribed, and the new subscribers, because I'm sure you just subscribed right now. We're so happy to have you here, and most especially excited today specifically because this is our Mother's Day episode. Happy Mother's Day! Happy Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day. Mothers are celebrated everywhere in the little and the big ways, but we love that we have this day for just ourselves. And you know who's got to be celebrating? Everybody who was born by a woman.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Everyone.
Everyone. So we am just enjoying this whole motherhood journey. Are you guys celebrated by your spouses, by the way?
Yeah.
Or is it the type, because I've had many people say that their husbands or partners say, but me, I celebrate my mother. Also, your children should celebrate you. It is not Women's Day. We find them on the streets of Kampala and Nairobi and Kigali. Yeah. I thought it would be a nice time for us to think back on the lessons that our mothers passed on to us, especially, and in two ways. One, in the ways that they have impacted us in our adult lives, and they serve us still today. So let's start with the lessons that our mothers impacted or imprinted on us that continue to impact us in our adult lives. Who's going first?
I will go first, as usual. So my mom, I actually had to call her to ask about the Runyankole saying, but this is something that she used to say a lot when we were growing up. And the saying goes, hafunde mitima, tafunda bantu, which is translated to mean if your house has, say, 2 bedrooms and you have 100 people in your house, if your heart is closed in that, oh my gosh, people are in my space, then the 100 people are going to be a burden. But if your heart is open, hafunda means to close up. Yeah. But if your heart is open, then it will not look like there are many people in your house. It'll be like, oh, everybody come in. There's space. There's room for one more. Yeah, we are 100. Okay, even the 101, you come in. And I find that, yes, it really was part of growing up. We always had people at home. First, because my mom lost her dad when she was really young. So my dad took on her siblings in terms of taking care of them. So when she got married, they would come home either in between school, holiday time, and then there was also the aspect that my dad is a pastor. So we were inconvenienced because back then as a child, I saw it as an inconvenience. I was kicked out of my bed several times. We had visitors coming at odd hours and we had to cater to their needs. But that lesson she kept imparting, which I have found to be true even now in my adult life. I find that I am very accommodative of people. Now, you know that in a setting like that, when you're inviting in people, not everyone is going to treat you the same way you're treating them. And I think for me, it's in accepting people that I have learned to accommodate even people's weaknesses and sometimes bad manners. That's not to say I am perfect. It's to say that I will go many miles before I will say, you know what? Like, I think I'm done with this person. Yeah. And I have testified to that on the show. And I think for me, my mom teaching me that welcoming people and inviting them is, number one, really a testament to our faith and what we practice and what we believe. But also, people are a resource. People are, God has created people and maybe he has blessed you enough to take care of other people. And it's important to use what he has given you to take care and bless other people. And it's a lesson that I carry on to this day, to the point where sometimes it is inconveniencing, but I always have it at the back of my mind that just let everybody come in.
I think I'll go after Rachel. My mom taught me to give. At first I didn't understand it, but she was a giver. She would always give back. fortunately for her, in her early years, the money was there. Her husband had a good job, so she would really give, like we saw it. So growing up, I started to give, but at first it was a bit of an inconvenience, especially when it didn't feel right. I felt like some people take to giving for granted. They take advantage of that. But now I've come to realize that there's so much beauty in giving. Like I get so much fulfillment when I give. Yeah. And the principle of giving, and in Luganda there's a saying, ememe gava, yememe geja. You grow a big heart. Like, just giving, like it really, there's something it does when you learn to give. Yeah. Your heart grows so big.
You don't get attached to things.
You don't get attached, yeah. So I've learned that, and I know that I got it from her. I don't have attachments on anything. Like, I'm not, like if it's a good phone, it's for, even if it's a good car, I know it's, you're just using it. I'm not attached at all. But I like that I've been fulfilled so much when I give. It's not that someone is taking it away from me. I'm happy to give because I know I'm impacting, and I've made someone smile when I give, and I learned that from her.
My mom taught us to live a life of authenticity. Then she got saved. The advice was God. Like it was God all the way. And there's a saying she used to say in Runyankole, but I can't murder the language. But she used to say things like, he who fails to hear will not fail to see. So for me, those three things are the ones that shaped a lot of the lessons, that shaped the lessons that I learned from my mom. Like when I put it in one, like if you know God, you have a relationship with God. He tells you to do something. So live your authentic self. But when God interrupts it and tells you your authentic self, do as he asks. Because if you fail to hear, you will not fail to see. And I have seen it. So I honestly live my authentic true self. Like there's no time I'm feeling like, oh, I should. No. Every time I need to. But the only person who interrupts it is God. And and when he interrupts, I don't fail to hear.
That's a
because I know if I fail to hear, I will not fail to see. Something will happen, and I will see.
That's deep.
Speaking of my mom, Aska is a Catholic, so our religion is quiet. We don't have funky hymns. We don't have. Our churches are brown. Not
at all.
But you people, not like yours. Aska like to. I'm like, we try.
Not like
but
that.
The conductors go out of their way, but generally, Catholicism is an old-fashioned, quiet religion. So when we pray or when we put God up there, it might not come out as yummy as other people, but for us in our home, God is everything, and the God, the one of kneeling in a quiet corner, and you pray about it. So for her, everything begins and ends with God. So for me to speak about this without speaking about God first, I would not, be speaking the complete truth. That said, if I were just to remember as myself, in Swahili there's a saying, I think we all go back to our native languages at this moment. Kazi goi goi ula milu milu. In all the time. That's why people can be like, well, Anjinga, you overwork hard. I don't know any other way. Basically, if you do nothing, you don't expect to eat. You get what I mean? Exactly. It's in the Bible as well. So growing up, that was like the foundation of everything, because my mom truly believes if you don't work hard, it's the root of all evil. Lazy people, envy. Lazy people, Gossip.
Yeah.
Idle people and an idle mind is just the devil's play. Thank you. So my mom is the type, even if you're now chilling, she can be like, even if we are seated, at least we'll be folding panties.
She's those moms who don't want to see people seated.
As in,
there,
what are you, like,
chilling.
I'm telling you, me, I started gossiping when I was older, like in the last 5 years. Yeah, and guess what? During the last 5 years when I was going like through things at work, is when I had more time to gossip. Because you're not filling yourself with the right energy. So as you said, when you have negative energy, you spew negative energy. So it is the first time that I ever gossip. But at our home, we don't gossip. We don't gossip, but as in, you're banging the kabosi with who? Mommy finds you. At least get the forks and knives and clean them again. You get me? So for us, working, my mom said, when you're hardworking, everything in this world makes sense. You will expect less of people because when you work hard, you feel your energy go down. So you can't also expect too much from other people because you know what it feels. So for us, cause goy. My dear, for sure. And God, the Catholic boring God, that God, novena.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, the Catholic boring.
All your mothers are good.
God.
No, my mom is too, but well.
It
It did for a while and then it just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, my mom taught me to strive for personal independence. And that it's threefold. Number one, emotional independence. The awareness that you alone are responsible for how you feel. That happiness is a decision that you make. And unfortunately, no one else can give it to you but yourself first. Not your children, not your partner, not your sister, not your uncle. You alone are responsible for your happiness. We'll go through adversity, we'll go through grief, we'll go through pain. But you alone decide how long you'll stay in those places. And you know, I used to look at my mom and would always say, but Mom, you're such a hard woman. She says, you guys, but I choose where I want to be. I am the protagonist of my life story. Why do you give that power away to other people? You have the ability to create, to attract, to manifest the life that you deserve. The life you desire and that you deserve. So why are you giving that power away? To somebody else, to dictate, now I'm sad, now I'm not happy, now I'm here. They ask you why. That one, Rachel did this to me.
True.
What is that? And it's not to say that we don't process our feelings. We feel, we are allowed. We are human beings. We are emotional. But the issue is, how long are you choosing to stay there? How long are you choosing to stay there? When you're sad, it's you. You're sad.
He's the one who made you sad.
Mr. Mwine, they're doing his own things. OJ is there on his other things. He's having his kabia. You're sad. You are at home.
The world has stopped.
The world has stopped because now they've hacked you inside. You're feeling the pain. So for her, it was about power lies in choices. Choose to be happy, choose to be kind, choose to give, choose to love. But above all, choose to do better. And when you choose to do better, you will always choose yourself.
Oh yes.
When you choose to do better, you will always choose to be kind, to be happy, to be peaceful, to be loving, and you will always choose yourself. My mother was choose yourself person. Choose. And when you're aligned with yourself is when now you can have to give
Everything
to other
else,
people.
yeah, it's easier.
That's where the giving comes in. That's where the funda comes in. You know? So that was emotional independence. Secondly was mental independence. The ability to think and form conclusions on your own without conforming to public opinion. Authentic self. Yeah. My mom lives an authentic life without worry about what other people will say. She used to tell me that whenever people, actually in her mind, people pleasing is a disease.
Yes.
Whenever you're making a decision, you need to be able to think through, to sit with yourself and think about what is your true intention and true motivation when you're allowing in those 100 people. Is it just that they want you, you seem nice? Are you just trying to please them and then putting your comfort at secondary level? Because somebody's got to be uncomfortable. Someone has got to be. So if your intention is, no, I get fulfillment in giving, I get joy, I need to impact, people need my help, fine. But if your intention is, some people can like you, they see you, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to keep taking and taking and taking. So you need to be able and still not liking you. And then so you've got to also be ready for disappointment. Like you have to prepare your mind. For my mother, her power is in the mind. You've got to prepare your mind for all these other situations that are going to come. Whether you've made the decision or not. When you make a decision, be ready to stand by your decision. Be ready to own the consequences of your decision.
Like if you say that the reason is because I want to be
yes, you allow. Yes. Actually, me, I want to be like, but stand by your decision. Yes. So when people don't be annoyed now. Yeah. When people don't, you want to be like.
Change the program.
That is it. So, and she said, because people are going to take, and they'll always take, and then you'll be there, and then you'll have nothing to give to anybody else, and not even yourself. So for her, it was, again, authentic self. Train your mind to be prepared for all these, so many things, and just live your life positively. If you live positive mindset, your thoughts become your actions. Positive mind, positive actions. Finished. Now, for me, the one that was, by the way, mental and emotional independence for me, I don't know, they've driven me so far, and I feel that they were the best gift my mother gave me. And by the way, it's not that she gave me equipped with all these tools. She only allowed me, explained to me what the importance of this independence was. It's only when I grew up later in adulthood that I equipped myself with the tools, because they can only give you what they know in the capacity that they have at that time. But the world's changed. So independence in my mother's time is different from independence in my time. Now I've taken it 3-5 notches higher because I need this independence even more. The third one, and really powerful one, financial independence. Financial independence. You guys, there is no woman sexier than a woman who can do for her own. True. Financial independence is the ability to sufficiently support yourself without relying on others. And financial independence starts with financial literacy. It starts with financial empowerment. Big words to mean that we've all got to be money educated, regardless of whether you're single or managing your finances with a spouse or a partner or anybody. You can't even manage your money with your sister or brother. You've got to be money educated. Be able to teach yourself about, many of us only know how to make money and spend it. Finished. Everything that happens in between there, they have no idea. But if you're striving for financial independence or financial freedom eventually in your lives, you've got to be able to know how to save that money. First of all, plan for that money, save it and invest it. So that that money can be able to grow. You've got to learn how to grow your money. Not just make it. People are always, I want to make,
but they don't know how to
2 years from now, they have nothing. Nothing, because there's no savings to their name, there's no investment, there was no planning, they have no idea what their goals are. So and financial independence, why I love it so much is because it gives you that, allows you, it accords you a certain degree of freedom to live life on your own terms. But if you're always there and then you're waiting, now it's raining near a border, now I'm waiting for the person with a car to come and pick me, so now I can't go anywhere, right? But if I could be able to use my money to
you're always waiting for some money.
You're always waiting for some, you live your life waiting, hoping for some money tomorrow. So it is that luxury of choice that that to be allowed to make independent choices that money gives you. So if you don't have or practice proper financial management, you will not live the lifestyle that is best suited for you. You always live a certain kind of lifestyle dictated by those that are funding you. So for me, emotional independence, mental independence, financial independence were the greatest gifts that my mother ever gave me.
Those are powerful. Those are powerful.
And to this day, and when you combine the three of them, because many of us have in one or the other,
Oh, yes.
and maybe not at a go, we are juggling
Oh,
the balls.
yes.
This mental goes out the window, or then you're too emotional, you can't manage your feelings, or now you have
Oh,
no
yeah.
money. Yeah, so
you have
it's
to
you've
balance
got to
those.
try to do the balance, and we are all on a journey where, yes, sometimes I drop this ball, but how quickly do you get it back up? So maybe those are the greatest gifts my mom gave me. Again, it was training, but most of the work, maybe like 60% of the work, I did on my own, like in personal growth. Yeah, so now that we've spoken about what continues to serve us, can we speak about what we've chosen to release?
I think I'm still figuring this thing out. I always watched my mom. My mom is very entrepreneurial. That's the English word. Yes. She has a business mind. I don't know if there's anything my mom has not sold, from making mandazi. I remember even when we were in school, she was running a canteen at the school that I was in at A level. She has done so many things to make money, tailoring, like. So we watched her do these things. She would bake in our house and go out and sell things, and like we always knew there was money coming in, but like the idea of, oh, let me also go and start my business is something that I have struggled with. Not struggled, like I never ever thought that would be my life. It's only now in adult life, which is why I wanted to sort of tweak. There's a lot of help coming from her. But like, yeah, the way my mom did business, you would think that her kids would also take on like the business line, because we always saw like money coming in, and she had all these ideas, and it seemed natural that we would also become business minded. But alas, only my younger sister, and right now she has a business. My younger sister, she sells Bath and Body Works, Victoria's Secrets stuff. But the rest of us, and it's something that's so funny in our home, because we're like, what happened to the rest of us? I think for me, the business thing, but yeah, one day you might see an announcement on Instagram. I'm just saying, it's a work in progress, just that it does not come naturally, no. It does not come naturally.
Mine will be on parenting.
Yeah.
Because my mom raised two girls for her longest time before my brother came. I believe that we were the softer, gender.
Yes.
She didn't have to stress. So many times when I'm telling her about the kids or how I should go about this boy who is disturbing me, like, yeah, just talk to them. I'm like, no. I'm like, not happening. Not happening. But also I watched closely how she raised my young brother. And I really disagree with many things. So those are some of the things I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. This is a boy. I need to domesticate them. Because I don't know, anyway, because he came after many, many years, about 16 years. So Bambi, the only boy, there was so much pampering. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this with the boys. I have 3 boys. I cannot start to raise them in a soft manner. So mine is Chiboko. She does not want to hear that at all. But yeah,
even with you, there was no Chiboko. Oh, it was just with us, boy. Oh, so no child you were.
My mom didn't beat me.
Okay.
Yeah, she was really soft. But also we are girls. It's easier for a girl to sit down and we'll sit.
Excuse me?
Anyway, personality, but well.
Are you talking to
Am I? Yeah.
The thing is that I could speak of the things that my mom tried to ingrain, and they took so long for us to stick. I'm just beginning to understand now. My mom is very similar to Pumla's mom. That nonsense of my dad's like, yeah, everybody. My mom is like, no. First, divide for my children. During the war, they came. My dad was a journalist, so he had to hide in the ceiling of the roof. And my mom was in the house with the children. I wasn't yet born, but and they asked, bring the money. So she went and brought out the money out of the wall. And when they were leaving, she stood in front of the door. And they're like, they're going to shoot her. So with the gun on her head, like 5 guys, she said, go ahead and shoot me. But you're not leaving me here with no
With
money.
no money. And children.
How am I supposed to feed these children? I can assure you, even many years later, they saw Mukomboza Abera Wali. They never came back, as in they split the money and said, Madam, okay, have your portion. So that's why you see Paul say, Angie is so sweet and weak, yet she has the other side, right? And for many years, that was the side that I tried to shelve as much as possible. But as I grow older, I see many of the things that she told me. That's why I said, those that I would have said were lessons that I didn't pick up on, today I do.
Find them useful.
Without a doubt, especially the one of, she always used to say that you're born, people from the, they have a lot of stories based on ocean or water bodies. When you're born at the bottom of the ocean. Then you rise and you float, you trade water, right? Usually you don't feel the struggle when usually people when they're drowning, they're doing that. But the second you relax, you will float. You never float looking downwards. You always float looking up. And when you look up, you know what you see? The world, the sky, the land. And then even those people up there seeing you, the praises, the whatever. So you rise out of the water and start thinking that this is where you are. Until either you go beyond, you surpass those around you, or something happens and they dump you right back inside there. Do you know what brings you afloat?
What?
It's family. So whilst you're making all these friends and helping all these people and doing all these charity things, the people that help you during your lowest moments are family. That's why somebody commented and told me that, oh my God, Angie, I get a lot of this. People always tell me, oh my God, Angie, you always say the nicest things about your husband because he's my family. Someone who knew me 20 years ago will tell you, Bananga, I'll be like, Bananga the chigai.
Oh, so this is now a lesson you learned.
Thank you.
In hindsight.
Today, even if you tell me, Obambu, you say nice things about your dude, you people, that's the family that always, constantly brings me back afloat. So on mom's side, man, I give you props.
That's a wonderful rabbit hole. Thank you
Oh,
for taking
it's actually not a rabbit hole. I think it's actually something
we could have,
came to us
much later. Yes. But when they could come from mom, but when she was saying them, you're like,
she doesn't know.
what does she know?
What does she do?
Because she told me, did they tell you to oil your belly?
To what?
To oil your belly for these wood stretch marks. Mommy told me, Angie,
they?
oil your belly, oil your belly. I was like, it's sticky, it's hot, what does she know? My dear, the week to giving birth, I saw some yellow thing. I'm like, moms always have our best interest at heart. They really do.
I'll go before you, dear. Auntie, I have to rap. Gundi. For me, I wind mine more. I have many, of which I sung, this one, it's just not working for me. I'm only going to do it for you because I don't want that KB of, and you find your own house. Auntie, this is my house. So you can do what you want when you're in your house. Yeah, now I have my house and I'm doing what I want. My mother, the notion that if you want to do something right, do it yourself. I trashed it because it is the first step to bad life. Bad life. My mother loved bad life. My mother, right? I don't even know why I'm saying in past tense. My mother is the queen of bad life.
With all the mental and emotional,
you will not. And that's what I'm telling you. With all those things, that's why she gave me like a 30% because that is the capacity in their time. But bad life. Now even there, she thought she was being independent by doing everything herself. My mother can be in 7 places at the same time, doing 20 things. My mom has, like yours, that part of folding the panties. It was not because we shouldn't gossip or because we are lazy. There was no free time. Why is your schedule free? Actually, when I hear sometimes when I met Manuela, I met her like that, and for me, like that, it just gives bad. Like, why are we behaving like this? My mom didn't grow up poor. She didn't, because most of the people I find who do that, it's like, I know poverty, I'm not, poverty is there, I am running.
Me run.
Yeah. My mom grew up poor. They grew up, my grandfather was a chief. She came from means, so it never made sense to me why she behaves like that.
I guess
my
they
mother
taught her like
retired and still stayed at work for 5 years. Her retirement party was on Friday. She was back in office on Monday. 5 years. She had a bash. She had a bash. Wow. But still, we went. I was, Mom, you know, like, I'm on leave. Let me come Bible over. No, you come to the university, you'll find me here. And I found her name still on the door. I said, Mom, 2 years have passed lecturing, and let me tell you why. Mom, when you're coming towards retirement as lecturers at the university, they start, okay, it's like a handover, but so because you started with undergrads, by the time you're retiring, okay, you have undergrads, then you have masters and PhD. By the time she was going to retire, they had cut off for her from undergrad, masters, now she was only handling PhD, and then eventually only the one there at the point when they were doing dissertations. Now, they are like, I think over like a year too. My mom decided that the breed of PhDs that are coming, they are problematic. They don't seem to be grounded. Let me go back to master's level to pass on my education to help them. That by the time they come here, it's like they don't know what they're doing. She went back and got master's students. When she taught the master's students, she said, this is not where the problem is.
It is in undergrad.
It is an undergrad.
Your mom and
What?
Brian's mom need to have a meeting. Your mom
They don't rest.
and Brian's mom.
Are you serious? You guys, my mother went back to teach, and now she has, again, she's retiring. Please not now. Now the party has come for retirement. But she has undergrads, she has master's students and PhD. Everybody.
Who she has to finish up with.
Who she has to finish up with, because she says no. She needed 5 years to release.
Yes.
My mother would do, and please, and remember, like, because you see, you would think because my mom is a career and professional, my mother took a decade to finish her PhD. Because she also had to be a wife and a mother.
True.
Wow.
Whereas for me, I decided from what I saw from her, I'm like, no, I can put this ball down. My mother can't put no balls down.
Yes.
She was juggle
let me
them
put
all.
this ball down. I go and do this other thing. No, we will juggle everything. In my PhD, my mother was at home every holiday. Every holiday. With a good husband, just feeding her that lifestyle of hers. That part of her. And then when she would come back, there is no books, no school, nothing. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, and she would do everything like my mom can do anything. My mom had taught me how to drive so I could go to the market.
Wow.
Actually, I'm the only one I know that my mom delegates anything to.
No, manual.
Yeah, and deputy parent. They taught me how to drive, and remember the cars at home were manual. So I was not even allowed to learn how to drive an automatic car because I would not serve them.
Yes. True, needed to learn.
So that bad life, you know what it does to you? It makes you like you're overwhelmed and you're always late. My mom's late to everything. To every single thing. I find her husband there seated waiting. Guy, he's smart. He has been smart for an hour.
Wow, because she has a lot on her
I thought
plate.
you told me that you were like, I remember sometime I went home, I was late actually. I was supposed to pick something, but her husband, we call my parents her husband and his wife. Her husband had told me, but you know, Pumla, you want to pick at 4? We are scheduled to leave at about 4. Please note, when I came, I found Neda, your mother is there. She's somewhere, you go and look for her. Do you know what I found her doing? She's now looking at 3 necklaces and she's coming outside to ask her husband, which one looks nice? Which one looks nice? As in now she wants to be in that part of, she had been doing her other activities, now she wants to be in that part of a wife.
Yes.
And now I want to show up. I want to look nice. I want to look like your wife, like you picked.
Oh wow.
She takes every role equally seriously, but that's burnout. And for me, I said it, so I was like that for a while. Because a deputy parent, I have to keep, and my mom, and which is another thing that comes down to vulnerability. My mother looks at vulnerability as a weakness that should never be expressed. So we were brought up like that. And and that's because of that for her, she's always strong. She can do everything herself. So what do you have? So, and I remember when my son was sick of chicken pox.
Yes.
I had to go and pick my son from school. The teacher was literally telling me that the boy is on his deathbed. Why wouldn't he say something earlier? And we had a conversation with Angie and Rachel. And it was really, it's something that I've always known, that because my mom did not really allow us to express vulnerability. It was weakness. As we are like, that's a weak trait. Oh my God. I broke my son because of it. And it's something that I've always known, but I think it's Angie who said it, that why do you think he's not? So me, my man, I was like just comforting myself that no, he's just a strong boy. He's what? But no, I broke him. So so what I'm trying now to do better, hoping that I've not yet broken him totally, is allow him to be him, because that's how I was also raised. And let me tell you something, by the way. You see, single moms have with boys especially. One of our biggest fears is the fact that since there is no real father figure present all the time, and they are in our care half the time, we harden ourselves. So we make sure, because we are walking testimonies of strong women. You know, you don't want a weak man, so you try not to make a weak man out of your child. So you end up projecting on your son. Yet they have their lives to live, and you can go overboard, and it has consequences. So for me, those are the things that I learned don't serve me. So the first one, which was of bad life, I saw it from when I was young. I was like, I'm not going to be that woman. My life is soft. I want my everything. I have if you go through my phone, I have a number for everything. I only do what I want to do. Even vegetables, they have to cut them for me from there. Even the matoke, whatever, they have to peel it from the other side. Even everything.
And yet,
I have a guy
your
for
mom
everything.
is that the type whereby, like, my mom has to wash her husband's underwear.
She has to
make
everything.
his breakfast.
Yes.
Even if there is a maid, she still has. In her
Everything.
old age, she'll still come to touch.
old age, they
and
have
you're like,
no
Mommy,
maid.
sit down. She's like, chef
Everything.
Dad yayagala ka coffee kenga yenza ka
Everything.
brewings, and you're like,
Everything. My dad actually does, at home we have barbecue Sundays, and my dad is in charge of everything. But I still find her in the kitchen.
yes.
Yeah, and then before she used to pretend that, but now he's going to be here and he'd be alone and he's lonely. Nenga, she's working. Like she can't allow you. For me, when a man decides to give me, I take. I'm there. I'm okay.
You and me, that's
Entirely. I asked someone sometime during COVID, me, I was the most okay person. Because I had someone with the market, I have someone for fish, I have someone for my meats, I have someone from the supermarket. I last went to a market in 2009. That's the last time I went to a market. Now I just got the number. I looked at the lady, I was pregnant with Teja. Teja's never seen his mother go to a market. Imagine. I was pregnant with him and I met a lady there, that woman, the lady who usually sells to me. And she was like, hey, madam, you look like you're very tired, but you might need someone to help you during maternity leave.
Yes.
I was like, maternity leave? Let's start now. Agnes of Ndinda Market up to today. Let us start now, Agnes. Let us start now and forever. But my mother says she has to feel the nyanya, how it is, where it is, the pumpkin she has to touch and know that now this is the nice one. This is
And
the
can
right
I tell you, even when she grows super old, my mom is what, 84? Still, you find her galanga tanaring, and you're like, najua baba na. She can be ironing his shirt, and you're like,
My mom.
Bambi, they
now
got
that you
used.
mention, if there is anything that I think I threw out, for sure.
was bad life.
Me, I can have 5 maids.
Oh, so you pick that up and it's for you, it's still serving you.
Serves you.
I love you.
I know, I also agree with that one. No.
But I do what I like. So me, it's a matter of what the things you like to do. Them. Like I love to cook.
Yes.
But I last washed clothes on campus. Actually,
I agree.
in Essex Vac.
I
Because
agree.
on campus I found women who were washing clothes. But cooking, I love cooking. So you'll find me cooking up a storm, doing things. But that's what I love.
When I say I don't have a maid, there's a problem. When Pumla says she doesn't have a maid, wow!
Okay, then you need to pick from
You need to pull. Where am I thanking from? Where am I thanking
where you are.
from? Mommy, I love you, my people. Keep supporting me.
We need to stop double standard.
This double standard. Pumla has a reputation, though.
I looked for the advice that hasn't worked for me. There is one that hasn't served me. There is one in particular, but unfortunately, I can't say it hasn't served me because the time hasn't reached.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I feel like as a child, I was like, oh my God. And that was when we had a huge fight with my mom over men and boys. And the way she reacted at that time, I think by the time you watch the show, you will have known what I'm talking about. But I feel that I keep saying that, no, you know, she should have sat with me, had a conversation with me. But Bianca hasn't brought a boy. So I still don't know how I would react. So I feel that it's the only thing, like when it comes, my mom is those moms where I'm just like, my mom, what she says is true.
It's true. Yeah. I feel like most moms, most women say that about their moms after they've had children.
Yeah.
I feel like
that makes sense.
That's why I wanted us to speak about this, because I wanted us to really reflect. There are things that don't serve us, but we just think, again, someone says wear white, it's
and everybody wears white.
But actually, moms have...
No, they do have faults. They do have faults. But you see, the thing about the way my mom raised us, again, which makes it very hard to say that there's anything that she did that was wrong, was she allowed us to live our authentic lives. Now, if I'm living my life, I don't know, how do I say, I tell now you were wrong. You understand what I mean? It's very hard, because for her, it was important for us that we lived life. Like for her, she really was a supporter in the sidelines as you played your game of football. That's really what she was. She never ever came to tell you, now get your ball, put it there, so that now you can say, my mom told me to put my ball there. Now it was. She would just be like, where are you going to put your ball? I'm in the sidelines, so I'm waiting for you. If it goes the wrong way, she comes for you. So it's only that thing where it's the only issue that she meddled in, where she got the ball. So the other side, I said, I don't see you playing on that ball. So it's the only one where I'm like, before I say it was wrong, I haven't reached there. Bianca is not 16 yet. Bianca hasn't, even 18. I don't know what age, I don't know that. So I'm still in a place where I don't think that there's anything that my mom has said that hasn't served me. However, and her husband, they broke up. Surely I think that she needs somebody. I think I be feeling that for her, and when every time I meet her, she's like, I'm married to Jesus. Hello. Jesus is enough for me. Jesus warms my bed. Jesus. And I'm like, I love Jesus also, but he creates it now, so you know. So it's just those things where.
I wanted to say that a lot of the lessons that we're sharing, I don't think were said. And I think there must have been a point in my life where I was like, but why do we always have people at home? Which is probably where she was like, oh, so you see our hearts, blah, blah, blah. It's good to invite people at home. It's good to invest in people. It's good. People are a good resource. People can be your wealth. True. You know, like at a certain point in your life, they'll start to look at, like I know for that season that we're in, my dad being unwell and my mom by his side, we've seen a lot of people invest in us. From money to groceries to food to like all sorts of things. We've not lacked, you know, and yet they are both in a stage in their lives where they are not working per se. So a lot of the things that we pick is from observation, the way we watch our moms lead their lives.
And if I were to leave us with anything, because I'm older and maybe because I started the journey earlier, is in time, you know, like the way you're like, for me, I don't want to be like mom when we were younger. You wanted to be everything but her. Yes. I can tell you, yes.
No, but I didn't. Because hers was different.
Your journey was different. But you know, you'd have, of course, your mom was everything. But you'd be like, for me, if I was a mom, I would not even shout at my children. If I was a mom on Sunday, I wouldn't force my children to go to church. You know, that kind of thing. But as you grow up, you literally become your mother. That's why when she says, because of her relationship with her mom, that gave her a completely different insight. Mine is like the rest of you, but the older you grow, everything that you looked at your mom like that, you find yourself at 60, and that is exactly.
Actually, you know, it's interesting that you're saying that, because I was thinking about Pumla when she was talking about her mom. And I think you kwetala, but in an upgraded.
It is true.
You don't.
The way I see it now, my friends also, but you're too here and
Yes.
there. But for me, I'm just comparing to her.
Yeah. But you are
still doing
you're
the
doing the
same
same thing. Because let me tell you, French. Let me tell you, Pumla. Let's tell you guys about Pumla. Pumla is everywhere. You leave her, let her tell you that she's not, but Pumla is everywhere.
Yeah.
She knows Rachel's father, what he's doing. She knows she's buying the present.
Shower.
She's doing whose baby shower. Well, Black is not well. Manuela, hi. Let me
And
tell
she'll
you,
be the
Black
first
has
one to
not
say,
been
I'm
well.
not coming for that party even. And she'll be the first one there with a gift.
No, she'll even call you, say, hey, by the way, I was at a shop buying clothes. I saw a cloth, it would be so good for you. I've brought it for you. Where are you? I find you. And you're like, Banage Pumla, you are really making us look bad. But I think that in certain ways, like you've said, we
Upgraded.
are our moms, maybe upgraded,
Evolved,
evolved versions of our moms. And for me also that's a bit scary, because then your children are going to be you. You know what I mean? Like
But an upgraded
an upgraded version
So
of
let's do
yourself.
better.
Yeah, let's do better.
Let's do better.
Our children emulate better. But what truth be told, we are our moms.
Yes, we are.
If we fight it, most of us, I think, okay, not maybe most of us, to varying degrees, maybe fought more with our moms when we were younger, but now they're like our best friends.
You can talk to them about
We understand to talk
anything.
about anything and everything. Actually, for women who are much younger, because I realize that we have a really big audience that has much younger women, you might find yourself in a place, maybe you're lucky like Manuela, whose relationship with your mom has been kind of smooth sailing and you know, happy and peaceful throughout. But for most of us, we had volatile a period there where things were okay.
But not alone.
I think
we all have.
Ours took like the whole of our teenage life. For example, like there was a whole
Because
point
I was
where-
like you, but I know there were those boom moments where you're like,
what is this? Which one not?
And
And
she
for us, we
calls them,
compare
like,
mostly like because we had fathers in the house. Those periods didn't happen with our dads. You see? And even if they did, it was not that deep. Like it wasn't intense. With our dads, but with our moms, it was there. But as when you get married, then you start understanding the problems. When you have children, you start saying, oh my God, what is this? Then now you're like, oh my God, my mom. And she's the one you always turn to. She's the one you always turn to. So for me, that's why like mothers. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
To our mothers, to ourselves as mothers, and to our potential mothers. Everybody who's looking to have children later. This is for you. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. If you could share with us in the comment section what continues to serve you that was impacted on from your mother. And you can also share with us what you decided to release because it doesn't serve you anymore. And while you can do something for your mom, people do something for your mothers. Golden Tulip is having a lovely, lovely brunch on Sunday. A Sunday brunch, a Mother's Day brunch. So bring your family, celebrate your mothers, celebrate your wives who have mothered your children. Yes, it's just 90,000 for adults and 60,000 for children. So come and enjoy a lovely Mother's Day brunch at the Golden Tulip. Until next time, with love from Bangladesh.